If you love making your own pies and you keep a sourdough starter, you might want to stick around for this one because I have for you yet another way you can use your sourdough discard. Yeah, you guessed it. Today we're going to be making sourdough pie crust. The taste and texture of this pastry is very unique in that it almost points in the direction of bread, which really isn't surprising. To make it, you start off with 2 cups of all-purpose flour, and this amount will give us a healthy 9-inch double crust pie. Half a teaspoon of baking soda, and 1 teaspoon of salt. If you want to sweeten it with a little sugar, go for it. Mix that together really well, and now we're gonna incorporate some fats. So I have here a 1/4 cup of butter and a 1/4 cup of lard. Of course, you could use vegetable shortening instead of lard, or you could use all of one or the other. It's your choice. Cut it in really well until you end up with a mixture that looks very short, so very fine crumbed. And when you clump a little bit in your hand, it should just barely hold its shape and just fall apart very easily. So now we're going to add in 1 cup of our sourdough starter. This is unfed sourdough discard, and it's at room temperature. So in that goes, and here I have 3/4 of a cup of water. I might not need all of it, but I'm going to add it in very slowly, about a tablespoon at a time. And you don't want to overmix here, and you just want enough water so that your dough comes together. And even though I love my spatula, at some point very soon I am going to abandon it because no matter how much you mix with the spatula, your dough never really comes together. It isn't until you get your hands in there that you know exactly when to stop adding water. So as soon as the dough comes together like this, without overworking it, we're going to wrap it in some plastic and let it chill in the fridge for 30 minutes. That's not only going to make it easier to roll, but it's also going to give the dough a chance to auto-lease. Now, I don't know what kind of pie you're going to make, but today I'm keeping things very original and simple with a good old apple pie. So I have here some apples, some sugar, some cinnamon. I never really measure my ingredients when I make apple pie. But seriously guys, what kind of pie are you planning to make with this dough? Let me know by leaving me a comment down below. I always love hearing from you. Alright, now I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of flour down, and because I'm only making an 8-inch pie today, I know this is going to be too much dough, so I'm going to lop off about 1/3 of that. We'll set that aside for something else. One thing you're going to notice about this dough that will make you very happy is it's very easy and forgiving to work with, more so than traditional pie dough. And of course, it's super versatile. You can use it for both sweet and savory dishes. It'd be a really awesome crust for quiche or a meat pie. I think it would be perfect for Jamaican patties. Seriously guys, please let me know how you're going to use this dough. Alright, now we're ready to fill our bottom crust with our apples, put our top on, crimp the edges to seal it, cut in some steam vents. I always like to brush a generous amount of milk on my pies and sprinkle lots of sugar on top. And there we go, we'll set that aside. Now this here was a last minute decision, but I decided to take that little scrap of dough and try my hand at making some homemade Pop-Tarts. So I rolled it out, cut it into 4, spread a little strawberry jam onto each piece, and I really should have watched a video on how to do this because I had no idea what I was doing. But these Pop-Tarts do have a happy ending. So I just folded all the edges over like this to seal in that jam and pressed it down. And then I tried to make it look more like a Pop-Tart by going around with a fork. But I don't know, this wasn't really my original vision here. I think next time I really have to do my homework on this. Anyway, I gave these the same milk and sugar treatment as I did the pie, and into the preheated 350 Fahrenheit oven they went, and the pie took 1 hour and the Pop-Tarts took 25 minutes. And while I won't be using these for my audition for the Great British Baking Show anytime soon, these Pop-Tarts were actually better received than the pie was. In fact, I kind of want to take this Pop-Tart idea a little further, maybe work on their appearance, try different fillings and frostings and sprinkles. Now let's check out our pie. You want to let it cool for about an hour before cutting into it, otherwise your apples will all cave in on you. But let's cut out a piece so you can see how substantial that crust is. Look at how it holds everything in so nicely and easily. It stays in one piece. There's that beautiful crispness to it. That really great flavor and crispness comes from the lard and butter combo. Let's break into it so you can get an idea of the texture. I really wish you were here right now to eat this mouthful, right there. You're just gonna have to try it out, guys. So if you keep a sourdough starter and you're whipping out pies from scratch, why wouldn't you make it? Go try it, let me know how it worked out for you, and I will see you all in the next video.